Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Performance Improvement Radio. I'm your host, Terry Hansen. Great to be back with you once again. Hey, super excited to be with you today. I wanted to share a couple of quick thoughts with you that came to my mind actually based on some comments that a fellow LinkedIn connection shared with me the other day. So I was on LinkedIn connecting with some people, having some conversations, and I asked what kind of challenges they were running into. And this was his response. He says, honestly, the biggest struggle is breaking through the noise. Buyers are bombarded with sales outreach in every which way. So in 2022, sales will be a hybrid of sales and marketing. And his comment really kind of caught my attention. It's not a new issue or challenge. We all know that sales prospects are highly distracted, super busy, and it can be a real struggle getting their attention. So I wanted to share with you four different tactics that you can use to get sales prospects' attention, even if they are already being bombarded, obviously, with tons of other sales outreach messages. So stick with me. All right. So I wanted to share with you a story from a couple of months ago. As a sales professional, as a marketer, I'm always keenly attentive to the marketing and sales messages that capture my attention. Like you, I'm super distracted, super busy, got 101 things going on. And any kind of marketing or advertising message that captures my attention and I take action, I subscribe, I click, I call, I visit, I always zoom right in to what was it about that thing that caught my attention. They just did a really good job of capturing my attention and getting me to act. And so I work hard to try to study good marketing so that I can apply it and use it not only for me personally, but to share those kind of strategies with you as well. So let me share with you one of those examples that happened to me not too terribly long ago, a couple of months ago. So I'm in my car driving down the road, minding my own business, and just kind of listening to the radio and kind of involved in my thoughts. And I come up to a stoplight and I notice that the car right in front of me is actually this truck. And in the back of his truck, he has got two large flat screen TVs mounted on metal frames, kind of welded to his frame. And these TVs are kind of like at an angle. So one TV can hit everybody going this direction and the other TV kind of pointing this direction so everybody can see it there. And he's running kind of video commercials, video spots, video commercial, little ads on a rotating basis from the back of his truck. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And so my first thought was, that's interesting. I've never actually seen TV screens in the back of a truck before, kind of driving around town. The second thought that came to my mind was, I wonder if that even works. Like, do people seriously look at the back of a truck, a TV in the back of a truck, get super excited about something and pick up the phone and pay attention? And so my attention started focusing on the ads, the commercials and the videos and the ads that were playing. I'm like, no, I would never call that dentist. I would never pick up the phone and call that real estate agent. And then an ad popped up that was for a company that all they said was guaranteed 3 to 10 pounds in 6 weeks, or guaranteed to lose 3 to 10 sizes in 6 weeks. And I went, Now, me as a former gymnast and athlete, I'm a little pudgier than I like to be these days, and I'm always looking for ways to get fit and get healthier. I exercise all the time, do my best that I can with diet, and that just doesn't seem to work. The pounds just kind of stay on. So this message, guaranteed 3 to 10 sizes in 6 weeks, I'm like, that caught my attention, especially when it was a guarantee. I'm like, you're going to guarantee that I'm going to lose weight? Like, I'm in. Yes, please. And then my mind immediately caught, who would really benefit from this is both me and my wife. She has been wanting to lose weight as well. And so anyway, the ad quickly popped up. I saw the guarantee, I saw the number, and I saw the name of the company. And I went, I'm just going to learn some more. So I Googled the name of the company, found the phone number, called them up, learned a little bit more about what they do, and I scheduled an appointment. And 3 days later, my wife and I were sitting there in front of the people. We got a tour, and I handed them $2,000 for their program, and off to the races. I went, and I'm still with them today, as a matter of fact. And yes, I've lost 3 to 10 inches in those 6 weeks. But after the dust all settled, I caught my attention. I'm like, all right, I just dropped $2,000 based on an ad on the back of a truck on a TV. Why did that work? Why did that work? Why did that work, for crying out loud? And as I went back and I looked, there were really kind of 3 or 4 important components. Number one, the TVs caught my attention. There was something, so I guess let me back up. Why did that particular marketing and sales pitch and method work to capture my attention? Notice that there were tons and tons of billboards all around me that I was ignoring. Notice that the radio was on with TV commercials going that I was totally ignoring. Notice that my phone notifications were buzzing and going off that I was ignoring. Notice that the different buildings around me with their marquees and their signs and their advertisements, and the guy on the corner with a cardboard sign spinning it around in a circle, like none of that was capturing my attention. But for some reason, these TV screens in the back of a truck caught my attention. That was number one. Number two is the guarantee, the sales message, the advertisement, the offer itself, the guarantee of 3 to 10 sizes in 6 weeks. That caught my attention too. It immediately spoke to me personally and dealt with a challenge that I was dealing with personally. Had nothing to do with my business, had nothing to do with anything else, but it spoke to me personally about a pain or a problem or issue that I was dealing with myself. And the thing that actually compelled me to pick up the phone and call was when my brain went, that would be good for me. But what would also be amazing is it would be a great thing for me and my wife together. We could do it together, and she would see a lot of benefits. Sometimes I won't do things for myself personally, but I'll walk to the moon and back for my wife or my kids or my loved ones, right? So when that thought hit me, this would be perfect for my wife, I made the phone call, and then $2,000 later, we were enrolled. So I think there's a couple of messages there. I think there's a couple lessons to be learned that I want to kind of circle back and debrief with you, that you as a sales manager can help your sales team incorporate as they are out pounding the pavement, prospecting, whether you're you're getting help from your marketing department in a lot of inbound marketing, or if the sales team is primarily focused on outbound sales prospecting and they're hitting the phones, hitting the email, hitting social media, and working hard here. Four steps, 4 strategies, 4 concepts, 4 ideas that I want to share with you. The first is your offer. Whatever it is that you're offering to your sales prospects, it can't be taken lightly. If you're offering a free consultation or a free tour or a free demo, recognize that stuff isn't very compelling. It's not a very big incentive. It's not very motivating. You need to go back and double check and look at your overall offer so that the offer itself, what's being offered, has a humongous perceived value. Like the perceived value of whatever they're going to get is really, really big in dollars and cents. Number 2, that initial offer should be 100% free, totally risk-free, 0 risk, 0 liability, 0 danger, should be 100% free. Number 3 is that offer should be very, very easy to get. That it should require 1 click, 1 call, 1 something, very easy for them to get access to it. So go back and double check to make sure that whatever it is you're offering as incentive or bait to your target sales prospect is something so amazing, so incredible, so wonderful, like any normal rational human being would have to take action. They call it an irresistible offer. And we don't spend enough time thinking about putting together an irresistible offer, bundling different parts and components and pieces together to make something just mega amazing. So that's tactic number one. Go back to your offer and make sure that it is truly irresistible. Number two is the context. And by context, I'm really meaning your message, whatever you're saying, whatever is in writing, whatever they hear, whatever they read, look at, etc. The message itself has to speak to a particular need or pain or problem that the company is experiencing and something that the individual themselves personally is dealing with. So because remember, all sales pitches, all marketing lands on a human being to react to. So that human being is typically, it has responsibility for certain functions in the business. And so part of their motivation is corporate and commercially driven, but the other half of their motivation is personally driven. How's it going to make them look? How's it going to make them feel? How's it going to decrease their stress? How's it going to help them sleep better at night? How's it going to help boost their status, their appeal, their income, right? It needs to be personally motivated. So make sure your sales copy and your messaging is very specifically tied to a problem, a pain, an issue, a challenge that the business and them personally are dealing with. So that's context. Have good, solid context. Number three is don't forget channels. Now, going back to the example of the weight loss advertisement in the back of the truck. Channel number one was a billboard. Number two was the radio station. Number three was the signage all over the street. Number four were, the phone notifications. All of those were marketing and sales and communication channels that I was personally ignoring. What got my attention was TVs in the back of a truck. That's a whole different channel. Now, when it comes to sales, recognize that our channels are typically text, phone, email, social media, direct messaging, sometimes even snail mail, right? So those are all of our common sales channels. Now, the challenge is as a sales professional and a sales rep, we don't necessarily know where our sales prospects are paying attention. Do they pay attention to voicemail or do they ignore those? Do they pay attention to text messages or do they ignore those? Do they pay attention to social media notifications or do they ignore those? Do they pay attention to phone calls and emails or do they ignore it? We don't know. So we have to leverage all of them. So if your sales team is primarily just a phone and email folks, they've got at least 3 or 4 other channels that they need to be exploiting on a steady, consistent, regular basis. So think about helping them exploit and utilize and capitalize on more than just 2 sales channels. Now, if you are over marketing and if you have influence over the marketing in your company or the marketing department that recognize then inbound marketing strategies play a huge role in lead generation and demand generation. Leverage video, leverage good images, leverage good sales copy, use retargeting, retarget marketing. If all that's foreign to you, no worries. We can chat more about that stuff later on. But leverage ads, leverage good contextual ads. They get right in front of your sales prospects on the search engines, on social media, on their regular platforms, on podcasts, on YouTube, on TikTok, like all over the place. You don't know where their attention is. So you've got to leverage all these different marketing channels that the marketing team can help with. Okay. So exploit channels. So number one, again, was go back to your offer and make sure your offer is amazing. Number two is make sure the context of your message is spot on. And number three is hit a diversity of channels. Don't just rely on 1 or 2 common ones, but hit all of them because you don't know where their attention is. Last but not least, number four is consistency. Have you ever had this experience where you're at dinner with some friends and they mention some sort of series on Netflix that they're binge watching right now. And you're like, I've never heard of that. They rant and rave about how amazing and wonderful it is. And you're like, I'll go home and check that out. So you go home to Netflix, you flip it on, you search for it, and boom, you find it. And it's like on season 3. And you're like, how have I never heard about this? And it's already on season 3. So there's a lesson there. There's a lesson there. You have to consistently produce all of your marketing and your sales messages in all of these channels long enough for your sales prospects to run into you and notice you. It's not that they're ignoring you. It's just that they've never heard of you, never seen you, and they're not even aware of you. You have to persist until you succeed. You have to consistently pitch, consistently advertise over a sustained period of time to your target audience long enough for them to become aware of you. Sometimes it just flat out takes some time. So endure, last, persevere, be consistent. Don't just try something for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then say, well, I guess it doesn't work. No, stick with it for months. Just because it's not producing results doesn't mean that it's not necessarily working, right? So stick with it. Sometimes it just takes a minute or 2 or 3 for people to run into you. So anyway, I hope some of these strategies help you really give you some new ideas and some new things to help you really kind of break through the noise. Grab your sales prospects' attention, even if they're already being bombarded with a lot of other sales outreach and messages out there. So don't give up. And I know some of these tactics will work fantastically for you. So good to be with you on this episode number 6 of Sales Performance Improvement Radio. If you like this particular episode, then comment below. Make sure you click the like button, click subscribe, share it, take a screenshot of it on your phone or wherever you're listening to, and share it on social media. Tag me, Terry Hansen, or Sales Performance Improvement Radio, or Hansen Plus. Any of those will do. And anyway, can't wait to be back with you on the next episode of our show. And we'll see you soon. Take good care. See you next week. Bye-bye.